The EPCR Challenge Cup is not the competition that fans and players lie in bed dreaming about their side winning. It's not the biggest event of this weekend, but these games could be the most fun. Maybe they'll be lower on quality, but they could be much higher on drama potentially. A couple of really fun games. One cross-border battle between Edinburgh and Bath, reigniting the Anglo-Scots rivalry, and an all-French affair taking place in Lyon on Sunday, where the basket case that is Racing 92 could maybe salvage their season. And yeah, it's not the most prestigious piece of silverware, but it's a major trophy and would be a big moment for each of these teams. I'm going to go through each of the fixtures. I've got a combined 23-man squad based on the teams that were announced, a couple of hours ago. Leave me your thoughts in the comments down below. Give the video a thumbs up and hit subscribe. Yeah, I think these could be really fun games. Let me go through Edinburgh against Bath first, which, like I say, there's a kind of English-Scottish cross-border rivalry here. And Finn Russell taking his Bath side back home against his countrymen that he will play international rugby with. And Grant Gilchrist has called it a strange welcoming committee that he is part of, waiting for not just Finn Russell, but Cam Redpath as well. I don't think Josh Bayliss, no, he's not in the Bath squad, is he? But he would have been a third Scotland international. But it just adds an extra little bit of spice. Of course, there's already the added spice of the fact that there's a lot of expectation that Finn Russell will be going on the British and Irish Lions tour. His fate remains in the balance, 6 days away from Andy Farrell picking his squad, so a final chance for Finn Russell and a bunch of other players to press their claim as well. When you look at how the two teams got here, it was a really impressive performance against the Bulls by Edinburgh, 34 points to 28. They beat the high-flying Bulls in the URC. Big performance. Darcy Graham's been looking great in this competition. No one has got more metres carried or made more clean breaks than him. You've got Wes Huerson, who is the most carries in the competition. You've got... 10 years ago, they made the final and lost to Gloucester. They've never won this trophy. This would be huge for Edinburgh, although Sean Everett kind of... I get the sense he's trying to play the underdog a little bit. He said that he just wants to do Edinburgh proud, and that he also stressed Finn Russell can win the game on his own. So, and when you look at the URC League, Edinburgh are staring down the barrel a little bit for qualification. They can still get through in the playoffs, but they've given themselves a bit of a mountain to climb with some poor performances. But in this competition, they've had some of their best rugby, and this is knockout rugby. It's a win is all that matters. It doesn't matter how. As for Bath, flying high in the Premiership, they're all in on this competition as well. Edinburgh can be because maybe they're not going to qualify for the URC playoffs or make the Champions Cup next year. They've left that danger there. Bath are definitely going to be in the Champions Cup next year. They've already sealed pretty much top spot in the Premiership. They're 15 points clear. They can just put their feet up in the Premiership now till playoff time and just throw all their weight into this competition and a potential bit of silverware. They beat Poe and Gloucester comfortably in their two knockout games so far, scoring over 100 points in the process. They come in with a lot of confidence, and they are the bookies' favourites. Last I looked, they had a 10-point handicap. So, yeah, the bookies seem convinced that Bath are going to win this one. We will see. As for the teams, they have been announced. And what I've done is taken both the Bath team and the Edinburgh team and put them together. If I were making a combined 23-man squad, how would it go? What does it tell us? And I have gone for 5 Edinburgh players in the pack. But I've gone for 5 Bath players in the back line. I do think, for what it's worth, look at the 2 tight heads Bath have got. Thomas du Toit starting. I mean, there's an argument he's the best prop in... Well, he's the best prop in the Premiership, I can tell you that much. I would say the best player in the Premiership. I think give it another year, maybe come Rugby World Cup 2027, he may well be regarded as the best prop in the world and might be on the opposite side of the scrum from Ox and Che. That's a pretty scary combination. But England's Will Stewart, who's had a brilliant year, will go on the Lions tour. He is the backup. So Pierre Schoeman is going to have a big job to do. And, Bath have got Benno Urbano wanting to get on an England summer tour as well. I've gone with a lot of Bath players on the bench as well. I just think they've just got really good depth. They can have Ted Hill coming off the bench, Alfie Barbary as well. But Bradbury, Ritchie, Gilchrist, Schoeman, that is a lot of pedigree in that pack, and they need to have a massive performance. Where I think Edinburgh may lose out is the that the quality and talent of their kind of 9-10 and midfield axis, which has been really settled and playing so well in the Premiership. James Lang is good. Curry's decent. But yeah, you're just not quite as convinced about the 9-10 for Edinburgh. What is it? Ali Price, who's maybe got a point to prove. So I think Edinburgh can do a job up front, and they need to get Darcy Graham the ball in some space. But Bath, I just think they're going to keep their wagons rolling, and I think they will win. I'll say Edinburgh will stay within the handicap, and it'll maybe be Bath by 6 or 7. That's my thoughts. The other semi-final then in France, in Lyon. And Lyon are just I think they're 8th in the top 14 at the minute. And they were in the playoff positions. They're still very much in contention for the playoffs. But their season could slide. And maybe the momentum of this result could be massive for them. Racing equally had a massive win at the weekend against their Parisian rivals, Stade Francais. That takes them clear of any issues about relegation. And actually, they're now looking up at the playoffs as well. They could sneak into the playoffs too. So these two teams are going to be battling in the top 14 for the final playoff spot, but they're going to be battling this weekend in Lyon. And it's really hard to judge these two teams. Well, Racing 92 are an absolute basket case. Stuart Lancaster left earlier this season. Calazzo came in, who is kind of the French Steve Diamond, hothead, alpha coach. He's come in to try and pull this team into shape. They've got so many stars, but then again, so have Lyon. As I understand it, Lyon are one of the biggest spenders in the top 14, and they have got some huge names. They've flexed their muscles. It's kind of starting to pay some dividends. They are going to be losing. Both these teams actually are going to be losing some players. David Niniashvili from Lyon is amazing at fullback. Nolan Legaric, incredible young scrum half. They're both off to La Rochelle. So they'll want to go with some silverware. As for the combined 23-man squads, it's really, really hard to judge. I couldn't tell from the selection, are they putting out their strongest teams? How many injuries are there? Because there's some players that I was expecting to see that aren't there. And I don't know, maybe they're saving themselves a little bit for the top 14. I'm assuming they're going as strong as they can. One of the biggest bits of news, you've got Dan Lancaster and Owen Farrell in, with Joshua Tuisova on the bench. I mean, it's really interesting what's going on there. Anyway, I've gone for a Lyon-dominated pack. Racing have got some good players. It just doesn't seem to hang together very well, but I've got a Racing-dominated backline and bench. Although I will say, Leo Bordeaux is the top scorer in this competition for Lyon, and has been a solid 10 for them. They haven't been chopping and changing like Racing 92 have. And they've got David Niniashvili and Rattez, who are absolutely electric in the back three. So if Racing kick poorly or give Lyon space, that they are going to get shredded. That said, I do think Racing have got a whole load of power and potential from the bench, including, as I mentioned, Joshua Tuisova, an absolute animal of a player. And then you've got Roman Taufifenua, who could be really influential in the final half hour as well. I don't think either of the front rows for either team are particularly good. So they kind of cancel each other out a little bit. So I just went with the Lyon ones. But some decent players across the park. Some decidedly more average ones as well. And two teams that would absolutely love to make a final. It'd be interesting. I asked this question to Joe Worsley, who I have another channel with, FR UK Rugby, which looks at French rugby. And yeah, go and check that one out, FR UK Rugby. And I asked him, would the season be seen as a success for Lyon or Racing if they won the Challenge Cup but missed out on the playoffs? And his perspective, and he's been a coach in France for a decade, he knows rugby there inside out. He said they would, if they had a choice, Lyon and Racing fans would rather make the playoffs and lose in the first round than win the Challenge Cup. Which probably tells you a little bit about the strength of the top 14 and how this competition is viewed overall. But there we go. Those are the games. It's a Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m. kickoff, Edinburgh against Bath. That's the warm-up for Leinster against Northampton. And then Sunday, 12:30 in Lyon, UK and Ireland time, that is, which will be 1:30 in France. And then, you know, that's the precursor to the big one, Bordeaux against Toulouse. Bring on the rugby. I'll be covering it right across the channel. So keep checking in, hit subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, leave your comment down below. What do you reckon? And I'll see you on the next one.